Initially, we're just dealing with ego. And then as we progress in our spirituality, what develops is what we call spiritualized ego. And we all go through it. And it's just feeling superior because we're on a spiritual path and other people are not. And if you just step back, and it helps me to remind myself, I'm not God. Who am I to judge the evolution of a person? People are at all different stages. Most people on the planet are at very early stages of evolution, working on lower chakra issues, very simple types of survival, root chakra issues, sexuality and creativity, second chakra, power, navel chakra. And really, if we can remind ourselves of that, there comes with that recognition, if it's genuine, an acceptance that everybody is having precisely the experience they are supposed to have at every moment. They are pulling to themselves. It's just the divinity within ourselves that pulls experiences, and those experiences are always perfect. I can remember Rama in a lecture, somebody asking him, they saw a homeless person in the street, and they felt so bad. Their emotions had gotten involved, and they were kind of railing against Rama for being very unattached and neutral. They challenged him a little bit. And I remember so clearly him taking the person on, and he said, if you could pull back into a place of enlightenment, a place that was more neutral and unattached, you could see that that homeless person was having the perfect, absolutely perfect experience at that moment, that they had pulled that experience to learn something, and it may be a samskara from a past life they're working out, or some karma from this life that's playing out. And it doesn't mean that we don't feel compassion. It's a really subtle balancing act. There's a beautiful, it's something absolutely exquisite that Rama wrote, and it's called The Tear in the Eye of the Buddha. And he basically says, as you're evolving, no matter how expanded the being becomes, always a tear remains in the eye out of compassion for the suffering of others. And that's always there, because if you lose that, if you lose your compassion for the suffering of others, you've lost your humanity, you've lost your heart. But by the same token, we have to be so careful with language and definitions, because when we say the heart, we think of emotional love. Right? We think of attached love. We think of return on investments in terms of love. And really, that's not what the heart's energy is about. Heart is very expanded. Heart is extremely balanced. It is extremely neutral and unattached. So it's these two things, and one is just the hint of the personal. It's the highest vibration possible for a human being to experience, that sort of love or compassion for humanity. And yet, what we are striving for is the oneness, the enlightenment that comes with complete detachment and a complete sense of neutrality, a complete sense of nothing affects, everything passes through and doesn't throw the being off kilter. But the two are necessary because we are both. We are both the divine and the personal. We are embodiment. That's what we came here to experience. That's the fun of it. We came here to experience complete engaging with, right? Because we can't do that if we're out of the body. And so it is the balancing act between the two, the constant balancing act, and the balancing act going forward as we become more and more dissolved, more and more expanded, never goes away, that balancing act.